Seen in the most of the matches, Claude was banned. So I think Claude is going to be banned, or I think Selena can be a ban too. Like we all know how annoying she is. Plus they have Qram there.
Your team
So
is banned.
we have seen that Kaja ban coming up. What do you think about this ban, Prince?
Yeah, I mean, as I've been explaining for the longest time already, Kaya is one of those heroes nowadays that is very, very good in this meta. Especially, there's a lot of hyper carry heroes being used nowadays because his divine judgment cannot be purified at all anymore.
And as I said, Claude ban coming up. We all knew that, and Kufra ban coming up. This is a pretty good ban, I guess, because I guess they will go for that Selena or Diggy pick. And a Natalia ban. What do you think about this Natalia ban?
I think
Do you think
Natalia
Gigi would have picked that Natalia?
Nah, I think Natalia ban is okay because if I'm not mistaken, some players from Darwin's game do pick that hero in their ranked games.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me personally, Natalia is just one of those supports that is really good at engaging nowadays. So instead of having to worry of playing against it, just ban it, I guess.
Your team is picking.
We have seen this Grok coming up. And what do you think about this Grok pick? I think it's pretty good for that vision and all, because you have a tank like Grok, you can just scout the whole map, and we can see an Atlas or Diggy coming up because we know. And as I said, an Atlas and Diggy combo coming up because they don't want that Atlas to go waste. Let's see what is going to be the next picks for Darwin's game.
Yeah, just like what you said, Grok is a good pick because it allows you to roam around faster in the map, and it's just his wave clear is so strong. But I can understand why Lord's Domain is picking the Atlas here and the Diggy, but at the same time, I feel like time and time again, Atlas is not as good as what we thought it would
Your
be.
team is picking.
But in my opinion, I guess they are going for that combo, like Atlas.
Yes.
They want that Atlas to get successful. If they would have picked Atlas, they wouldn't have picked Diggy. Maybe they would have lost that combo, But we can see a Chow coming up, and they have a Diggy in a pool. Maybe it will be a really good pick. And there is a Granger, as we all know. They have a lot of good Granger players. They have Tatsuya, Witch, and Themizur there for that Granger. So it's going to be a good pick, and we can see a Jawhead coming up. What do you think about this Jawhead pick here, Prince?
I think it's okay. I mean, it's good early game against the Chow. The matchup is okay. If both of the fighters fight 1v1 early game, Jawhead is going to be coming on top. But now, with the coming bans, I do feel like they should ban out another fighter here. But it seems like they're going to ban the Valir here.
Your team is picking.
What do you think? The scary ban was necessary here, in my opinion. It was a really good ban coming up from Darwin's game. And that Valor ban, I guess they had that support and tank, so they didn't want to give that support pick to Darwin's game. So I guess it was a pretty good bans. Both teams are banning really good here. The third bans were really good. So let's see what is going to be the fourth pick. And it's a Bruno, pretty expected because they want that in the lineup. And let's see what is going to be the fourth and fifth pick for the Darwin's game, Prince.
Yeah, it seems like they're gonna go for the Popol and Koopa this time. I mean, I've been saying this yesterday. Popol and Koopa is now being played not actually as a marksman, but more of like a fighter solo lane role. Because he's kind of like a good support hero, and it seems like Darwin's game have finally realized the potential of Popol and Koopa.
It is going to be a very interesting match. You can see some new picks, but I have seen Popol and Koopa doing offlane most of the time. And here we can see this lineup. This lineup feels like a 2-1 because they have that Gushan, and they have that Granger there. Maybe Gushan can be off lane, but in my opinion, it's going to be a 2-1, and that Popol and Koopa is going to be the supports. And the last pick, Ling. What do you think about Ling in this lineup against that lineup of Darwin's game? What do you think about all these picks here, Prince? What do you think about this draft?
I think Ling is okay. It's able to answer the Granger in the back line together with the Popol and the Koopa without any escaping capability. So it's okay. But for me personally, I do like the draft here of Darwin's game better because in my opinion, it's a little bit easier to execute because they do have a Chow and a Gushin, a standard combo, a Grok and a Gushin in the middle lane. So that's a big burst damage at level 4. So I do feel like when it comes to the early game prowess, Darwin's game really have the potential to snowball the game. But at the same time, if LSD is able to, survive that early game spike of Darwin's game and feed a lot of kills on the sling, then I think LSD can get a game against them.
But I guess that Darwin's game draft is really good because they have that early game damage. They have that late game damage, but it's all about that execution. So let's see how both teams are going to execute this draft. So you can see both teams are going to go for that 2-2-1 rotation. So let's see.
As you can see here now, Witch and the Grok just here, trying to look for an early level 4, but the Digizoro used Flame Shot already. He might fall down here, but wow, that is such an early action coming from the side of Darwin's game here. It seems like Diggy was a little too forward, but let us introduce our teams. For the side here of Darwin's game, we have Dragon for this Grok, Demizer for this Chow, Tetsuya for this Granger, Kyurem for this Popol and Koopa, and Witch for this Gushin.
Yeah, let's see what is going to happen here. Witch was in the bush at that time when the DE was getting damaged. So if Witch was there, it would have been a first blood for Gushin. What do you think about that mistake?
I mean, it wasn't really a mistake on their part because I do feel like they had vision that Jawhead was in the bottom lane there. But can you introduce the side here of LSD to our viewers, Levi?
Yeah, you can see. I missed what you said right now, Prince. Sorry.
Can you introduce LSD to our viewers? But look at the Gushin trying to go in for this Ling already. Wow.
Yeah, we can see Queed on that Ling, Minato on Bruno, and Grady on Jawhead, and in between the introduction, we can see Jawhead dying there, and we can see Witch securing that kill really beautifully, and we can see Link pushing that mid turret, but he won't be able to push that mid turret. And are they going to take that bot turret? Do you think this is going to be a mirror rotation? I don't think so. They won't be able to push that top turret. Let's see what is going to happen here. And Chow got that kill on Bruno. That was so good gameplay by Themizer. And we can still see Atlas struggling here. They want that kill of that Chow, and are they going to get it? No, Chow escaped,
I don't think
but
so.
Bomb is still... Yeah.
I mean, as you can see here in the bottom lane, it's Popol and Koopa. Actually, he's one of those heroes that is actually very good in securing objectives like the turret because he does have the pet, the Koopa, and the Popol attacking at the same time. And as you can see here, Chow actually able to manage to get a kill in the top lane even though it's a 2v1 situation. So that is a very good performance coming from Demizer there.
Yeah, he just went in and logged that Bruno. As we can see, Bruno doesn't have that Purify, and he was level 4, so he just kicked and he got that kill right there on the Bruno. And we can see Themizer is a really good Chow, so he didn't miss that chance. So let's see what is going to happen in the mid. And I thought this is going to be engaged here, but we just backed off. That was a really good decision because Jawhead and Diggy was still there.
As you can see here, Granger just trying to snipe the buff here. Not really able to get the buff off the Ling here. So, in trade for that one, seems like Witch here able to take the turtle by himself already.
I guess that when Granger was trying to engage at that buff, that when he was trying to ulti there, steal that buff, that was just, like they were just trying to keep that in the mind, like they are at the buff, but they were actually taking the turtle. That was just, and we can see a gang coming up in the top.
Yeah, because look at that dog from the Koopa just attacking the backline. Chao able to get the jawhead and the turret, and that's one kill going for the side here of Darwin's game yet again. Wow, it seems like Darwin's game is here to make business as usual because they're not wasting any time. They're getting kills left, right, and center. That's 8-0 now to our kill score, and they're looking for more objectives. Now, Gushin trying to get the bottom lane here.
Darwin's game is literally all over the map right now with that Papo and Koopa support. They are literally dominating this game. As we can see, this is working pretty good, and this pick really paid well for the Darwin's game. Let's see if the Bruno is going to go down here, and yeah, Jawhead and Bruno went down. Themaizo played really well, and Cushion just came in and secured that kill on that Atlas. That was a pretty good gameplay, pretty good teamwork by Darwin's game. And this game actually looks on the side of Darwin's game, as we can see 12-0. What do you think Lost Domain should do to win this match?
They kind of win it more, unfortunately, if I'm not mistaken. This is only 5 minutes in the game, and the gold advantage is already 7,000. I mean, the Granger is 306 with a Bounty Hunter here. They're still coming back because their heroes, the Ling, needs that big items such as the Endless Battle. And as you can see, the Bruno has been shut down 3 times. Cannot even take the red buff. So I feel like this game is going to the brink of extinction against them already. And I do feel like Lord Domain should look forward for game number 2. Think of a better plan because they are being demolished right now.
I really didn't thought this is going to be this like this because the Darwin's game is playing really good. They are not making any mistakes. They just want to keep this match. They just want to finish this match as soon as possible. As we can see, that Atlas is trying to engage a lot, but he's not getting anything here. So this is not looking really good for the side of Lost Domain.
Yes, indeed. I mean, this is our first support marksman ever in the side of Mobile Legends. I mean, I'm not really surprised anymore because I've seen this being done so many times in different regions. And I feel like finally I'm thankful that Darwin's game is able to show us this other tactics that can be played also. Because, you know, sometimes you have to borrow from other regions, you know?
Yeah, I was really not expecting this coming up from Darwin's game. It was a pretty good strategy coming up from Darwin's game. And do you think this is going to be a gank in the mid? And yes, Cushion got that kill on that Atlas, and Ranger secured that king on the Ling, and we can see Koopa engaging on that Bruno. And Cushion went in, but this is not going to get...
he's gonna be probably dying here, but at the same time, he's gonna be surviving with a sliver of HP, which being the only person that died, unfortunately. It could have been a clean sweep with 0 kills given on LSC, but it's okay. I mean, they're dominating this first game, and they really are here to show the rest of the teams that's gonna be playing later. Darwin's game is number 1.
Darwin's game is just showing that why they are number 1 team in the tournament, as we all can see. And Atlas engages, and Grok is going to die here, I guess. Pretty sure
his immortality was going to be falling down. Look at the wild charge. Oh, a lot of damage being burst. Used with a Cushion, with a Chow, and with that Jig in the wave. The Draco triple kill now.
Double kill.
That was such a good engage by Witch and Themaiza. They saw their Grok is going to die. They were like, we are not going to let it waste. Your immortality is over. You have some HP. We are going to dive in, and we are going to get those kills on that Bruno, on that Ling, on that Atlas. They wanted that kills, and this is secured that King kills really beautifully. And we can see Ling have that endless battle coming. And so maybe if he gets some fun, this is going to be an interesting game. But I guess comeback is still on because Atlas is there. We can see some engages coming up from Atlas.
Because if you think about it, Ling is only level 9, while this Granger is already level 13. When it comes to the level difference, actually the skills affect how much damage you do to the enemies depending on your level also. And if you think about it, Ling won't be able to burst down this Granger with the turtle buff also. So I like from what I've been saying, I feel like what LSD really needs to do now is probably just calm their minds, look forward for game number 2, think about maybe banning out this Popple and Koopa because it's being first pick in a lot of different regions also. I mean, Zoro now being forced to use that reverse times journey here. Ooh. And another Destonata from the Granger trying to just secure this inhibited turret in the top lane.
Amazon is playing really good in this match. We have seen a lot of engages there coming up, and we can see getting one more kill. And this is going to be a game over, I guess. Only Jahed is alive. I guess this is game over. This is going to be a game over for Lost Domain. And DG played really, really well. We saw Witch Gushan and support Popol and Koopa. It was something new coming up in the tournament, IST, Indian Summer Challenge, and this was a pretty good match. What do you think about it? What did went wrong for the sides of Lord Domain, Prince?
I feel like the draft needs a little bit of change. I told you a lot.
You told me like you have seen a lot of Popol and Koopa in your server. What do you think is the best counter, even if they want to give Darwin's game like Popol and Koopa?
It's not in my server. I've seen it in a different server.
Okay. First ban coming up, it was a Claude ban.
Your team is banning.
And Claude ban, and we can see a Kaja ban coming up again from the side of DG. Pretty much the same draft going on right now. The both bans are pretty same, and Natalia ban again. This is going kind of same. This is deja vu, Prince. What do you think about those bans?
I mean, Kaya is just problematic nowadays because, I mean, as I explained to you a while ago, that Divine Judgment is a doom flag, but it seems like the same bans are going to be happening in our game number 2 tonight.
Oh my god.
First pick Valier? Really?
Yeah, what do you think in the mind of, what do you think LSD is thinking right now? What's in their mind? That's why they're like, what strategy are they going to execute here?
Definitely going to be Popol and Koopa. I told you, this hero is first pick material in a lot of ways. And it seems like they go for the Atlas here. I feel like they should go for the Grok instead, just so they have that front line that they need. But maybe Darwin's game is just going to be telling Lord Domain, this is how you play Atlas, bro.
What do you think about this? I think like instead of that Granger pick, they should have went for that carry pick or maybe a Diggy pick. What do you think about it? What do you think this Granger pick is right there?
Your team is banning.
I mean, the Granger is okay. There are a lot of marksmen available. I feel like they can lock in the carry still. The Bruno is still open anyway, even the Kimmy. So there's really no point in prioritizing Granger unless your Granger is OP. But it seems like Darwin's game is going for a show. They're going for the Hayabusa here.
By the way, the Kamizer and which are really good Hayabusa players. I'm really thinking for like looking forward for it. Like who is going to play that Hayabusa? It is going to be a pretty interesting match. Again, we can see some new picks coming up. Again, that Hayabusa and that carry ban, that is a pretty good ban, and we can see a Ling coming in. Okay. So, what do you think about this Ling pick, Prince?
I mean, it's okay still, even though with the nerves with his early game and him needing a lot of farm to deal the same damage as he did before, he's still okay in attacking the backline such as the Granger, because Granger is one of those heroes that doesn't really have a lot of utilities against a Ling. He only has that one dash anyway, so if the Miser here is able to focus him, the Granger is going to be dying no matter what.
I guess they wanted to target that, you know, like they saw they have like two squishy heroes there. So I'm going to go for lane because they have that Waller, they have that Granger, so I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I would just want them to die by just one or two skills. So I'm going for that lane pick. And we can see this is a pretty interesting pick coming in from the side of LSD. Cushion coming in here. So what do you think about this pick? What do you think about these picks, Prince?
I mean, for me personally, I do feel like, the side here of Darwin's game is just here to have fun for now because of the last performance that they showed. They already know that they are the better team, but at the same time, maybe just this slight overconfidence can get you knocking out your throne because the draft of LSD is pretty solid. They have the burst damage coming from the Croc and the Cushion. Even though I don't like the Cushion pick a lot nowadays because there's a lot of CC available, it's still okay, it still works. But, when it comes to draft, I like the draft of LSD better, but I feel like Darwin's game has this game again in the bag if they're able to manage to feed that Tetsuya.
And we can see Waller on Zoro, Minator on Granger, the Legend on Croc, and Creedy on Expert, and Creed on Cushion, and Kuram on Purple, and Dragon on Atlas, Thamizer on Haya, Tetsuya on Ling. He is India 1 Ling, so this is going to be a pretty interesting match. And Witch on Leomord. But one thing bothers me a lot. What do you think about the emblem of Cushion, Prince?
I mean, to be honest, I've seen a lot of questionable stuff already from a lot of tournaments, and having an assassin emblem, maybe it's just a misclick, Because sometimes when you're nervous, you accidentally click on the wrong button. So I do feel that is exactly what happened for the side of Creed here. But look at this Viraga armor from the X-Borg gone already.
The bubble pick is really looking good, and we have seen Kuram using it really well. What do you think is going to happen? And there is a gank in the bot, and Leomord dies there. Ranger got one kill. Let's see what is going to happen at the top lane. And I got the kill on that X-Borg, and Vision got kill on Purple. And let's see if they will be able to catch that Cushion, and I will be to execute it. And I guess Cushion is going to go down here. And
yeah, I feel like this is
Initiate retreat.
Continue.
I feel like this is a big statement that Darwin's game is saying to the rest of the Indian community. Whatever picks we have, we're gonna make it work, and we're gonna win cleanly. Even though they died 2 times, and it was a little bit missing that team fight, they're still able to apply pressure with the not so meta heroes available in the current season.
Yeah, exactly. This is something new. The new draft. We can see a Granger and all, and Croc going down just so easily. This whole pick is really being good for the side of Darwin's game, and let's see which is going to go. And we can see Waller going down. What do you think is Tetsuya is going to engage on that?
Yeah,
and
definitely going to be engaging. I mean, Kiram doesn't have Cooper right now. It was defeated when it dived in the turret, but they're probably going to be looking to secure in the top lane tier 1. At the same time, Xborg is now level 4, so this should be a quick signal to go out. I'm not sure why he uses the Blast Insanity there. There was really no need, but he was just probably trying to clean out the lane as cleanly as he can.
Yeah, we can see Cushion dying here easily by the hands of Ling. And this Waller is going to go down too. I guess Yukisha he will. And Waller went down too. And right now, Darwin's game are just showing LSD how to play that Atlas pick. That Atlas is engaging really good there. And we have seen that couple pick really bothering them a lot. And that couple pick is playing really, really good, as we have seen the engages, the turret damage. You have seen that how he is taking the turret damage. It's really good how he's engaging.
Because Popple and Koopa is like a Kimmy when it comes to pushing turrets, because he has to person do it. Actually, it's more like a Zask, because Zask has the alien. But look at this, another kill coming from the side of Darwin's game. I'm not so sure what Lord's Domain can do anymore, because this is 4,000 gold advantage, but they can burst these heroes down, and Mirado is looking for it. That's still not being used. Oh, Kurim is gonna be falling down. No, he hesitated and missed a kill right there.
Killing.
What an ulti by Atlas. That was a really GG ulti. He got those
Initiate
3
retreat.
of them so easily. And do you think Tatsuya is going to die here? No, he survives. They didn't want to chase that Tatsuya.
Did you see that? No damage from Tatsuya here. He attacked the tank, which was 1 HP, almost didn't die.
Initiate retreat.
This is how badly nerfed Ling is. Still viable, still playable, but at the same time, not as bursty as he was before. As you can list, Darwin's game is just diving every single turret, but looking for more kills. Oh, Gushin has been stopped, immobilized by Kurim here.
Initiate retreat.
And that is a
Oh my.
2-for-1 exchange in favor of Darwin's game yet again.
That purple pick is playing really good for the Darwin game. We have seen so many good engages by that purple. That turret, have you seen that stun in the turret? It was so good, and Link just coming and securing those kills. It's playing really well for the Darwin's game. I'm really excited to see more of the purple gameplay in this tournament. I guess Darwin's game was just saving this purple for, like the higher rounds. I guess they were not playing safe. They wanted to show everyone their potential in the next rounds. I guess they were just saving these picks. What do you think about it, friend?
Yeah, there's a lot of picks to be saved, because there's a lot of meta heroes in other regions also. I mean, in the Europe region, Kimi is actually one of the first picks nowadays, above a lot of marksmen. But Link going in yet again. Minato is in trouble. He's going to be falling down with Kiram here. Atlas able to get 2 people here with the fatal links, and that is a big combo wombo happening. But at the same time, there's still burst damage coming from Creed, and that is a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Darwin's game. But, Gushin might be falling down here because he overextended.
Turtle resurrecting soon.
This is not a really good gameplay coming up from that Christian. I don't know what he was trying to do there.
Double
But
kill.
the thing was, Link was all there. He had that dash. He dodged those daggers. Link just engaged. You saw how the engage started. The Link just came in 1v5, and he was like, I'm going to get it. And he was taking the turtle alone, and Link got that kill on Granger, and the gang just started there. So let's see. That purple pick is also good for that vision, as we have seen that traps of purple is giving good vision to Darwin's game. So let's see if he's going to engage here.
Legendary.
Wow, look at the combo wombo from the Atlas Fatal Links. This is how you play Atlas, boys and girls, and that's a maniac for this Link. That was a picture perfect engage coming from the side of Darwin's game, really ending this game with a bang. But I feel like this might not be the end yet, because the Valor is going to be coming up, but they are going to be forcing this one out. They do have the Hayabusa and Ling here, and this is a clean 2-0 in favor of Darwin's game.
Yeah, I really was not expecting games to be like this, but it's just Darwin's game is really good team, as we have seen in this tournament. They are playing just really, really good. They showed in this match, like, you can give us anything and we are going to rule this tournament. And we have seen them picking that Hayabusa, Leomon,